A very good morning to all of you. Today we are going to discuss about organ-specific and tissue-specific manifestations. Children, once the disease-causing microorganisms enter the body, through various means they start reaching every organ, tissue or cell of the body. If you compare the size of microbes with the human body size is very large. Do you think all the microbes go to the same organs or tissues or to the different places? To study this, we divide the movement and effects of microbes into two groups. What are these two groups? Number one, point of entry and place of infection of microbes inside the human body. Point of entry. What is the meaning of point of entry? Point of entry means the point or the route or the way from where they are entering into the human body and which place they are infecting, whether it is organ or tissue or a cell. And number two is effects of microbes on the tissues as symptoms and signs. When microbes affect that particular organ, tissue or a cell, so what symptoms and signs you will see, because on the basis of those symptoms and signs we will be able to find out which organ, cell or tissue is targeted by the particular microbes or the pathogen. Number one, point of entry and place of infection of microbes inside the human body. Various microbes, they tend to have evolved into various parts of the body. It is partly related to their entry point. This is the most important point, children, that from where they are entering into the human body. For example, when the microbes enter from the air through the nose or via nose, they are likely to enter the lungs. This is how the tuberculosis causing bacteria enter our body. When they enter through our mouth, they can enter the stomach lining or the gut lining, as in case of typhoid causing bacteria cause the disease. The HIV virus causing the disease, what? AIDS, may enter the body through sexual contact or infected blood or syringes and is spread to all over the body through lymph nodes. Generally, malaria causing protozoa enter the human body. How? Through a mosquito bite. Enter to the liver and then affect our red blood cells. The virus which causing Japanese encephalitis, which is called brain fever, in which the swelling is there in the brain. So the microbes, they enter the body through mosquito bite. After entering the body, they reach to the brain and affects the brain. Now, what would be the effects of microbes on the tissues as symptoms and signs? The symptoms and signs of the disease depend on the tissue or organ where the disease causing microbes enter our body. Suppose if the microbes enter our lungs, the symptoms, what symptoms will be there? The person will have cough and feel breathlessness. If they enter the liver, there will be jaundice. If they enter brain, symptoms will be headache, vomiting, fits and unconsciousness. Now children, I will tell you some other effects of infectious diseases are also there. Some other effects of infectious disease. What are these? Generally, a person gets better after having an infectious disease. Why? Because the body can fight and kill most of the germs. The immune system prepares many cells to the affected tissues to kill the disease causing germ, and this process is in the form of inflammation. I will tell you it again, children. First, we should know about immune system. As we have learned in our previous class that so many systems are there in our body. One of the most important system, which is immune system, and this immune system is actually what? Immune system is a complex of special types of cells and antibodies. What is the meaning of antibodies? Means, anti means against, means the body cells which against what? Germs and pathogens, those body which fight against germs and pathogen. So immune system is a complex of special types of cells in antibody that enables to distinguish foreign organisms and foreign substances. The main function of immune system, because it is a complex of special cells and antibodies, and what is their function? Their function is to distinguish between foreign organisms and foreign substances. Means the substances which are coming inside our body from outside, and those foreign substances, foreign organisms, they immobilize, detoxify and kill the same. Immobilize means not moving or able to move. So the antibodies and special types of cells together, they form our immune system, and the function of immune system is to immobilize, means not able to move, immobilize, detoxify and kill those foreign substances. The body defense system prevents from easy entry of pathogen. Pathogen can enter into our body. So easy entry of pathogen can be stopped by our immune system or prevents by our immune system. An active immune system recruits many cells to the affected tissue. As soon as when foreign particles, foreign substances, they enter into our body, our immune system become activated. And after activation, it starts recruiting many special cells where? To the affected area. Why? To kill the disease causing microbes, and this recruitment process is called what? Inflammation. Inflammation. So what is inflammation? The recruitment process of activated immune system is called inflammation. As a part of this process, there are local effects such as, some other effects are also there which I have already written here, that is swelling, pain, redness. Some other local effects are also there, that is swelling, pain and redness. It results a general effect such as fever also. Actually, the damaged cells release. Why this happen, children? Actually, what happened? The damaged cells. What is the meaning of damaged cells? Means the cells which are destroyed by the pathogen. So the damaged cell release histamine that causes inflammation. A substance which is released by the damaged cell is called what? Histamine. And this histamine is responsible for causing what? Inflammation. Clear? It is characterized by dilation of capillaries and small blood vessels surrounding the place of injury. In some cases, children, what happens? The tissue specificity of the infection leads to very general seeming effects. In HIV infection, the virus goes to, what happens, children, actually? In HIV infection, the virus goes to our immune system and damages its function. In HIV virus which cause AIDS, actually this virus target our immune system, as we have learned. Immune system, what does it do? It defends, it is our body defense system and prevents the easy entry of pathogen. And now this HIV virus is affecting to our immune system. Clear? Due to the effect of HIV/AIDS, the body can no longer fight off many other minor infections that everyone faces daily. The patient cannot fight even the microbes of cold because body has no longer fight of the many minor infection. Means every day the person, we have minor infection like cough and cold and diarrhea and cholera. So the body is unable to fight those minor infection as that particular virus weaken our immune system. Cold is changed into pneumonia. Similarly, a minor gut infection or the infection which takes place in stomach can produce major diarrhea with blood loss. Ultimately, it kills the patient suffering from HIV/AIDS. Now, I will tell you now what is severity of disease. What is the meaning of severity of disease? The immune system is a major factor that determines the number of microbes surviving in the body. In the body, how many microbes will survive? That is decided by our immune system. The severity of disease manifestations depend on the number of microbes in the body. How many number of microbes are there? That depends upon our immune system, and the severity of disease manifestation also depends upon the number of microbes in the body. The optimum or the sufficient number of microbes that make the body diseased, one is called infective dose. I am repeating, the optimum or the sufficient number of microbes that make the body diseased, or we can say the sufficient number or the optimum number of microbes which are responsible for spreading the disease in the body is called infective dose. If the infective dose is very low, the disease manifestations may be minor or unnoticed, because as we have seen, infective dose is what? The optimum or the sufficient number of microbes. If the number of microbes are less or low, then the infective dose, the disease manifestation will be minor or very less or unnoticed. On the other hand, if the infective dose is high, the disease can be severe enough to be life-threatening. Now, next topic is principles of disease. The administration or application of remedies or therapies to a patient for a disease or injury. A good assessment is essential to determine appropriate treatment. There are two ways to treat an infectious disease. How many ways are there to treat an infectious disease? Two ways. Number one, to reduce the effect of disease, and number two is to kill the cause of disease. Now, to reduce the effect of disease, how it can be achieved? It is achieved to reduce the symptoms. As we have seen, when this person suffer from disease or any body part, organ, tissue is targeted by pathogen. So there are symptoms and the sign will tells us which organ is targeted by the pathogen. So the first treatment which I am going to tell you children, it is achieved to reduce the symptom. Means in this treatment the patient is given medicines and those medicines reduce the effect of that disease. The symptoms are usually because of inflammation. The symptoms are due to inflammation. And what is inflammation? Inflammation is the recruitment process of activated immune system is called inflammation. And symptoms are usually because of inflammation. Medicines bring down fever as well as reduce pain or lose motion. Number two in this, taking proper rest. Because taking proper rest also helps to conserve the energy in the body and enables easy and fast healing. Now the second one you can see in the blackboard I have written to kill the cause of disease. The disease may be caused by microbes like bacteria, viruses, fungi and protozoa. These microbes have some essential biochemical pathways or life processes which are peculiar to that group. Means, what does it mean? It means that for a particular group, the microbes, they have their own biochemical life processes. These peculiar characters are not shared with the other group. For example, bacteria, they have their own biochemical pathways, that is the synthesis of cell wall. On the other hand, viruses do not have cellular structure, so they do not perform the process of synthesis of what? Cell wall. So these peculiar characters are not shared with the other group. Thus, the microbes follow their own pathway or for the synthesis of new substances and generation of energy. In order to cure disease, children, such microbes need to be killed by specific drugs or medicines. For example, antibiotics are frequently used to cure bacterial diseases. When persons suffer from bacterial disease, he or she can be given antibiotics. Antibiotics are those medicines which are used to kill or stop the growth of disease causing microorganisms. Bacterial diseases like typhoid, tuberculosis, etc. These antibiotics block the bacterial synthesis pathway without affecting host or patient. The patient is a host whose body is acting as a host because the body is giving place to the microorganism. So the bacteria, while taking antibiotics, they block the bacterial pathways or bacterial synthesis pathways without affecting host or patient body. Similarly, specific drugs kill protozoa to cure the malarial parasite caused by Plasmodium. But on the other hand, if we see, Viruses have very few biochemical mechanism of their own. As I earlier told you, viruses, they do not have their own cellular structure. They enter the host cells and use the cell's machinery for their life processes. It is one reason why making antiviral medicine is harder than making antibacterial medicine, children. When the person suffers from viral infection, it is difficult to cure them because very few drugs are there which are prepared against viral infection, because viruses do not have their own cellular structure. So when we take medicines and viruses are using host cells as a machinery for their survival, so taking antiviral drugs or the drugs which work against viruses, they harm the host body cells. So that's why it is difficult to make antiviral medicines than antibacterial medicine. Despite this limitation, there are now effective antiviral drugs. Drugs used to keep HIV infection under control. Penicillin is the first antibacterial antibiotic, while streptomycin is the first antifungal antibiotic. Children, that's all for today's video. In the next video, we will meet with a new subtopic, and this will be our last topic, principles of prevention. Thank you and have a wonderful day.